information there. Well, we're hearing from Democratic and Republican Party leaders here in Georgia about President Biden's monumental decision to end his reelection bid.
Atlanta News First Blake Devine joining us live outside the Georgia State Capitol. Blake, Democrats told you they're shocked, but Republicans say they saw this coming.
Carly and Tori, you may have noticed that public calls for Joe Biden to drop out of this race didn't come from Atlanta, as the president has a lot of allies here. But that being said, this leaves a lot of questions for Georgia voters on the potential of a new presidential matchup. President Joe Biden's announcement to step aside came as a complete shock to Georgia State Representative Phil Olaleye.
The initial shock of hearing that President Joe Biden is not going to seek re-election. And then once you get past that, knowing that we have a strong place in play, and I have the utmost confidence in Vice President Kamala Harris.
Atlanta NAACP President Gerald Griggs believes black voters are still wondering who will be at the top of the ticket.
We are almost 100 days away from the election, and I think their minds are in limbo because they don't have a clear picture of who will be the two individuals running.
Marcy McCarthy, who just got back from the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee, says Democrats are in disarray.
It is a very big dilemma for the Democrat Party right now. It looks like they're in total chaos. Their convention could be contested. They don't have a clear nominee. They don't have a nominee at all.
As Donald Trump continues to claim an advantage in recent polls, she's confident the former president will win Georgia and the 2024 election.
Republicans, we're united and we're carrying forward. We're playing an awesome game of offense.
Less than 4 months away from Election Day, once again, Georgia will be a key swing state, as one of the biggest wins for Biden and the Democrats came in 2020.
Joe Biden won by 13,000 votes, and so it's going to be razor thin. We've got our work cut out.
According to recent polls, Trump holds a slight edge here in Georgia, hovering around 5%. But I spoke to Team Trump, and they say they're going to continue campaigning aggressively as if they're trailing by 10%. Reporting live outside the Georgia State Capitol, Blake Devine, Atlanta News First.
Both parties full steam ahead. Doug, thank you. Well, Georgia's Democratic powerhouses are commenting on the announcement today, with Atlanta Mayor Andre Dickens saying, quote, "Atlanta is stronger because of his leadership. Our nation is better off because of his service. And I'm proud to call him friend, leader, and most of all, president," end quote. And Democratic Senator Jon Ossoff thanked the president, saying his, quote, "record and decades of service to the country are extraordinary and historic." Ossoff went on to endorse Vice President Kamala Harris, saying she's, quote, she's absolutely the right candidate to defeat Donald Trump and unite our country, end quote. And we do expect to hear more from his colleague, Senator Warnock, tomorrow. Make sure you download the free Atlanta News First app so you can hear from him as soon as we do.